What's up, everybody? You are tuned into The Output with me, your host, DJ Unprotected. I'd like to invite you in on the conversation and hit me up on Twitter at DJ Unprotected. Maybe you heard something with the show that you agree with or disagree with on the show, or you'd like to toss a request out there for one of our segments. Either way, hit me up again on Twitter at DJ Unprotected. I want to know what you got to say about this episode, especially some of the things that we are going to talk about. So, as you can see, this is me. I'm riding solo, episode 8 of the Output with DJ Unprotected series. Pretty cool stuff going on. This series has been a lot of fun. We're trying to be innovative and make things happen in an environment where, in general, streaming is down because, not as many people going to work. People, when they're working from home, apparently they're not that they're not that ambitious to do side things. Like, I think when people are at work, they probably stream more material because either one, they're, I don't know, procrastinating projects while at work and their boss is paying them to enjoy their favorite podcast shows or music channels. Who knows? Anyway, I digress. This is episode 8, and what you can expect in this episode: music. And most definitely, we're going to talk about how Taylor Swift dropped the best album of the year, in my opinion. Came through hot. Everyone else might be like, screw you 2020. And Taylor Swift is just like, hey, hold my cardigan. And I don't know if if you haven't checked out Folklore, definitely do. I'm going to talk about that in this episode. Also going to cover virtual festivals, live shows, and what it means to be a real fan, and also what it means for artists to understand what a real fan is. I'm going to talk, cover why I think artists are being irresponsible with this pandemic and having live shows. And you may agree or disagree with what I've got to say. But yeah, I think it's an important topic to cover. And we're also going to discuss working out. What? DJ Unprotected, you're a fitness guru? Hell no. You see me, I've had like fitness people come on the show before, a couple different coaches, some motivators, people talking about what it's like to train and all that jazz. But the truth is, we're going to talk about the COVID-19 pounds. That's right. It's a joke. Everybody said you've had friends, coworkers, bosses, people joke about gaining those 19 pounds during a time like this. And I'll just want to mention, let's talk about some realities of this thing and what we can do to improve and minimize risk by not going to gyms. Hey, if you go to a gym, then that's cool. I'm not hating on you. All right, so we're going to get my perspective on that in this show, but rolling right into it, let's start with talking about music. This is one of my favorite topics. I love music. I want to talk about it. And it's interesting. I did an interview this past week for a new job position, and it ended up being a virtual interview, and I was here in my studio, and I think maybe they expected me to talk more about my passion for music, but the reason I didn't was because I didn't want to talk about music so much that I blew like my 3 to 4 minute, introduction. Probably 2 to 3 minutes what it should be when you introduce yourself. When employers say, okay, tell us a little bit about who you are. If I would talk about music, that's like at least almost a 10-minute topic for me. I mean, you see my home studio here. This is something that I'm very passionate about. So I love talking about music. This is going to be our first topic of episode 8 and most of the other episodes too. So here we go. Roddy Ricch is definitely my favorite artist hitting the airwaves right now. I mean, at least in the hip hop and top 40 charts, and this is an artist that I like his music. The dude is killing it, I think. His songs bring energy. They all sound kind of different. He's got some cool flows that I really like. And obviously, he's been working with DJ Mustard. And this is someone that, I also aspire to be like. This dude is talented as a producer. DJ Mustard's production skills, from the sampling to the beat arrangements, I think it really does artists well. And the approach to, like Roddy Ricch's releases, I really like. Like, within the first 15 seconds of a Roddy Ricch song that's hit the charts, whether it be High Fashion or Ballin', within the first 15 seconds gets right into the hook. I mean, you kind of hear that sampled, filtered out melody in the beginning, and then boom, drops right into the hook. And I love that. Like, that is a great strategy. That's a strategy for work that works for chart topping music, music that's going to sell well. You capture the fans. It's something that, I mean, I study and learning as a producer and things that I look for in tracks that do well, and that is definitely one of them. Especially, I've submitted music to blogs, playlist curators, and the truth is, if you don't capture them in the first 15 to 30 seconds, they're out. So hit them with the melody. Roddy Ricch does that. It goes right into it, and I just like it. So, um, high fashion is dope. And ballin', obviously, and then you got the box. Those three tracks I'm playing on the daily. And so I don't know if I've brought it up to some people and they're like, Roddy Ricch, what? If you aren't listening to that, if you're bored, you want to just jam some music in the afternoon or evening, look him up. It could be in a workout playlist or I'm about to get ready for work playlist, whatever you want to do, but it is dope. And especially the track with the baby. I turned him up, and that's all I'm saying. So that's what I'm listening to right now. I think it's hot. And Taylor Swift, Folklore. Holy cow. I love this project. Dropped last Friday. It's minimalistic, comfortable. Was it last Friday or 2 weeks ago? Man, I don't remember, but, because time, everything blends together with being off or going into work. But I will tell you, I love this project. It's minimalistic, it's comfortable, relaxing, smooth. I mean, this album is everything that we all need right now. It's relaxing, like allows you to chill. We're going through a pandemic and there's high anxiety for a lot of people. Some people are out of work. They don't know when the next job's going to come. This album is it's just so chill. I mean, piano, guitar, layered vocals here and there for the choruses, and I mean, it's Tay Swift. Like, she does it right. Gotta get a drink of some water. So I don't know how you guys get down. Okay, I'm gonna jump off topic for a moment, but I love putting peppermint essential oil in my ice cold water. It is so refreshing, and especially when you got a cool cup. So, small business shout out to Made by Shanda Boyle and this awesome tumbler. Thank you so much. And if you're wondering what's in it, it is ice cold water with some peppermint essential oil. Freshens it up. It's just so refreshing. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever done that. I've been to a couple of health seminars and they always do the peppermint oil test. Like, that's how they get you. They put a drop or two of peppermint oil in your hand, you rub your hands together, and then you bring them to your face and you just enjoy the freshness. Like, your sinuses open up, you feel the fresh air. It seems like you just breathed in like part of an an air conditioner. And then when you put it in your water, it is super refreshing. So that's what I'm drinking right now. And it's hot here in Texas. Okay, sorry. I did not mean to get away from the Taylor Swift discussion on this Folklore album, but I'm really glad that she came through with this project. I mean, the beauty of the entertainment industry is this is an example of it and why it always prevails during economic hardships, because people want to find an escape, whether it's through something they're listening to or watching. If you look at the history of, times when we went through economic troubles, like the Great Depression 100 years ago, the entertainment industry, live shows, and music were still prominent, like, because people wanted that. Those were the industries that didn't really fall victim to economic hardships and through the depression. And it's happened throughout our times. When they had the inflations and I think issues with that in 70s and 80s and the 80s. So yeah, it's always going to be there. And so it's a beautiful thing. Now, even though the industry is affected by streaming, like I was mentioning before, because a lot of people aren't streaming, there's less traffic and all that jazz. And, statistically, people stream music more when they're working out, driving in their cars, or while at work. And so a lot of that has all changed now. But This album is great. It's key. People have been putting out EPs and singles. She came through with an entire project again. And so, what's my favorite song on this? It's hard to say because I like so many of them, but Cardigan and The Last Great American Dynasty really make me happy. Exile is also there too, with Bon Iver. And so the chorus even makes me want to sing. And I'm not that great of a singer, but I sing along to it. So those are my 3 tracks to recommend to you: Cardigan, Last Great American Dynasty, and Exile. Like I said, this project is just filled with piano, guitars, and the sweet Taylor Swift vocals that we are so used to. It's not really pop hitting. It's more just kind of catch you, bring you in, and allow you to enjoy it. And that video and the cover of it of piano or just hanging out in like a forest landscape, that is exactly what this project sounds like. So I can't decide which exactly one's my favorite. Those are my top 3, and that's my recommendation to y'all. Taylor Swift, Folklore. If you don't have it, look into it. And then Roddy Ricch, just look him up. Why not? Ain't gonna hurt. So that's that's what's hot right now for music for me, and I think it's worth a look. I mean, the Taylor Swift is hot for a lot of people. Rolling in, I want to talk about live music shows. Okay. San Antonio back in June had a drive up EDM festival. I think those are innovative and cool. And depending on how they do it, it can be safe for crowds, especially when the parking lot is spaced out enough and you're able to tune into an FM station, stay within your parking area, and stream the music within your car. I think that is a way that you can kind of approach live shows now as we're going through a pandemic and something like the coronavirus being everywhere. And I think it's a good way to bring entertainment to fans. However, like San Antonio is not a huge EDM city. Like it's just not. So I know that people were kind of traveling here from other cities like Austin or whatever to experience this. And it was like trance focused. So it wasn't like your typical type of festival. I mean, the San Antonio is just not the environment for that. It's very, hip hop, Tejano, stuff like that here. So that's why I don't think it got too out of control. Now, what I don't get is when shows aren't done properly. So you may have seen the headlines in the news, the Chainsmokers event that happened in New York. They're looking into investigating what policies and things were in place because there are videos that released that show that that there were definitely violations of social distancing recommendations and standards and protocols that are put in place to avoid large social gatherings. And what I'm talking about, I'm going to be honest here. All right. This is not only coming from someone who has a music business and, definitely like live shows and stuff is the bread and butter of my income for my business. And it's tough right now for sure. I'm not going to say that it's not. But if you're an artist and you put on shows allowing your fans to increase the risk of exposure to coronavirus, you are doing a disservice to the fans and the community. You absolutely are. As an artist, you are taking advantage of your power to make money, whether it's for yourself or a charity, and you are bringing people into a situation where they are going to have fun because you have to look at what a fan is. I mean, if you are an artist hosting these shows and selling thousands of tickets, ask yourself, do you really know what a fan is? I mean, do you? Even if there's like spaced out parking and, whatever, potential barriers, like we've seen videos where people have just congregated up close to stage. Let's look at what a fan is, okay? And if you're a performer, you have to think of what a fan would do, what a fan would be. You go to a concert, you see your favorite band, your artist, performer, DJ, whatever, because you are a fan. You spent that money. We are in a time where there are people who are out of work, people who cannot pay rent, people who are struggling to, live the normal lifestyle they had a year ago, a baseline lifestyle just to survive, not thrive, okay? People who are wanting the government to cut them a $1,200 check so that they can try to make ends meet now. You are putting on a show where people are going to spend money, and you expect them to not break some rules in the process, to stay in a 8 by 12, whatever it may be, 10 by 8 foot parking space. I don't know, whatever they're setting up, but you really expect that? I think that you are being silly, and you are not thinking in the perspective of a fan. So let's look at what the definition of a fan is, because I want to break this down, right? It's more than just someone who purchased a ticket and said, "Hey, I'm going to go enjoy this music." All right? Let's look at what a fan is, especially now. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, so no, this is not Urban Dictionary or Wikipedia, but a fan is an enthusiastic devotee as of a sport or a performing art, usually as a spectator, okay? Enthusiastic devotee, all right, of a performing art. So you're a fan of going to see a live show, that artist, okay? Also, it's an ardent admirer or enthusiast of a celebrity. Enthusiast, okay? Usually exciting, all that jazz. So, should we break it down even more? Ardent is warmth of feeling typically expressed in an eager, zealous support or activity. We are not just talking about people who show up and casually enjoy something. And then to expand further, admire, to with admiration. So here you are as a performing artist, allowing your fans, which are people who are enthusiasts, they express, eager, zealous support for an activity, they admire, love, all that jazz, and you are offering an opportunity for them to express all of that. That enthusiasm means running up to the stage. That enthusiasm means dancing next to strangers or other people who equally love and support your music. Like, I don't understand why this is such an issue for artists to get a hold of and say that if you're putting on live shows right now, okay, in person, concerts, all that jazz, you are putting people at risk. Like, I don't care what you say. You are putting your fans, you're putting family members, coworkers. You have to look at degrees of separation here and understand what you are doing, just so that you can make some cash, or even if it's for donation based. Like, there are other ways to do this, and I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be a hater, but you have to look at the reality of this stuff, of what's going on. It's why people are dying. It's why people are getting sick, because they want life to continue on as if we weren't in a pandemic. And part of that is, hey, going to concerts. Hey, we want to see this favorite show. So I think the Chainsmokers, that show they put on in New York, was absolutely irresponsible as an artist, someone who knows that they have tons of fans and they have enthusiastic fans who love their music. Chainsmokers make great music. I would love to see them live, but right now, absolutely not. So that's my take on it. Like, and yeah, sure, we have free will, we're freedom, we're definitely a free country, all that jazz, but think of other people. I mean, it's more than just making money on this aspect. Like, people are getting hurt. And then if you don't think that this stuff is real, and I'm not trying to argue or talk about what's hyped up, what's not hyped up about the coronavirus, but have conversations the next time, at work, or join an online chat group and ask somebody, or whatever it is, on Facebook, however you're doing it. But if you're going to work, safely talk to somebody and see who has been impacted. I know this past week I've talked to several people who had friends or family members severely ill or passed away from this virus, and it came from, going somewhere to an event or whatnot. So that's all I'm saying. Don't be irresponsible about this. And if you are an artist doing these shows, like, it's not cool, man. Because concerts and stuff are shut down as a safety precaution. They're not being shut down or stopped by states because they hate you as an artist or because they don't want you to make money. No, because, taxes, everything, like, so the government makes it, gets back with that stuff, like, but they're doing it as a safety precaution, and you're being there, giving people an opportunity to be exposed to great risk of getting the coronavirus. It's not cool. So live shows. I think you should stop it if you're an artist. Be more creative how you can make money. Step up your merchandising game, your streaming game. If you're hurting for cash, figure out another way other than putting other people at risk, because look at the definition of a fan. You are not just asking casual listeners to come and hear your music. You are inviting fans, people who spent money that other people don't have, uh, to enthusiastically enjoy your show. All right. So, and if it's for donation purposes, chain smokers, they make enough money yearly on average. So if they were smart with their cash last year, they could donate out of their own pocket. I mean, look at their streaming revenue and whatever else. So I'm not their accountant. I don't know their books, but I do know the music industry, and I can compare what an indie artist makes and someone like them makes. And yeah, they could probably pay out of their own pocket. So stop holding those events. That's it. All right. That's my soapbox. That's the thing that I'm passionate about. Right now is don't put fans at risk because you want to make some cash. Find another way. Connect with them on a different level. All right. And so that's where I'm at. I mean, we're going to just move on because I could talk about this for the whole episode. There's enough statistics out there to say why this stuff isn't a good idea. Anyway, moving on to fashion. You guys like my red shirt? Does anyone really care anymore about right now, especially during this and what's going on? Because going out and about shopping, like, partially, I don't really think people care. I see more people in gym gear than normal, and obviously, like, you're always gonna get, the yoga pants, whatever, shorts, people chilling out right now. But I mean, I see more and more people just rocking gym gear, tank tops, because there's probably not that opportunity to go out after you go shopping. So I don't know. I mean, I wore gym gear. Normally, I always try to, like, t-shirt and some nice shorts when I'm going out. But man, this past week when I went shopping for groceries, I just went in like some gym shorts and a gym shirt, no big deal, and just went cruising. But it's definitely, I will say this, as far as fashion, it's definitely sandal season for sure. I love it. And I may have talked about this before when we were covering the laced shorts, but sandal season for me is from like April through like October. I'm wearing sandals. My Birkenstocks, leather or non-leather, but these are my go-to. I'm not a huge fan of like what are they, the thong sandals? You know what I'm talking about? The ones that like come in between your toe. Not a huge fan of that. I'm not really sure. But what do you guys take? Like, I know I've recommended Birkenstocks to some friends. I know my mother loves them. They're comfortable. My sister loves them. I mean, shoot. I've had my Birkenstocks for 4 years now, 5 years. I forget when I went to Paris. I think it was 2015. And I would wear it, like, one day we walked around so much. We went to the Louvre. We walked up and saw the Arc de Triomphe. And it was like 13 miles hiking that day. Lower back problems, not at all. Felt great. The next day I wore boat shoes, walked around like 8 miles, 9 miles, and my lower back was jacked. So I love Birkenstocks. I recommend them to friends. You can kick them on. Probably not the best to wear with gym shorts, I'll be honest. But some, chilling gear, I swear that I'm going to get those laced shorts. I just need to figure out what I'm going to wear underneath them. And then going barefoot. Why not? It's nice out, except for Texas, 100 degrees, and the sun has no chill. So I walked out on my patio the other day, and I think I burnt off a layer of skin because the concrete slab was so cooked from the sun that I think I burnt off. Like, my foot was hurt. I was like trying to soak that joint in some cold water. That's why I like see people walking their pets like, man, you know that their little pads got to be hurt. Like, aren't people, cognizant of the fact that like they're going to burn their paws? I don't know. I don't have any pets, it's just me. All my fish died. So I don't know, but okay. So here's another piece of advice. If you are going to go in sandals, right, or barefoot, I think that pedicures are probably important. Like, there might be a way to do something about that. I think that's all I'm saying. Some people judge feet. And that's it's something that should be thought about before you're gonna pop on some sandals, some pedicure, or whatever you're gonna do. What do I know? I'm just a guy, and that's advice for anybody. All right, so next topic is dating. I'm not dating. Still, you know what? And I realize that I have more money because dating is expensive. Even the virtual dates, because if you do hey, we're gonna maybe like eat together over, virtually have a virtual dinner, you have to go buy like sushi or something. And I tend to generally cook most of my meals except for when I'm killing pizza on Fridays. So, excuse me. Yeah, so I'm not dating right now. I need to grab some more peppermint water. So, excuse me for a second. You know what I would love to do right now? I would love to lounge out in a pool. Maybe not something like a big crowd of people, or lots of people hanging out in a community pool because, the whole minimizing risk for coronavirus as much as I can, but just to hang out in the water. Like imagine like a beer in a koozie, you're lounging back in a tube or maybe an icy margarita. You know, pro tip in Texas, definitely here in San Antonio, you can get to go margaritas at certain places. So they already have the mixed icy, and then you get the sauce of tequila or on the side, and then boom, then you can mix your own drinks. But like, wow, that sounds so refreshing right now. That really does. So I would love to be lounging in a pool. Other side tip, I've got a project called Skinny Dip coming out next Friday on the 7th of, August 7th. And the cover of it is a pool. It's called Skinny Dip because when I was creating the project, I was like, man, like skinny dipping is so refreshing. Is there anything else more refreshing than that? Like take your clothes off, jump in a pool, lake, river, whatever. Like, man, it just feels free. I haven't done that it's probably been years since I've skinny dipped, and it is a refreshing moment. So you tell me, do you think that's refreshing, or am I overlooking that? But this new project is supposed to be chill and refreshing. But I don't know. Like if I had a pool and didn't have overlooking neighbors, I would probably be skinny dipping on the reg. Just keeping it real, letting y'all know. Okay. So yeah, not dating, but hey, would love to hang out in a safe way at a pool. So if you got one, holla at me in San Antonio because I totally would love to go jumping in. I wouldn't just skinny dip in your pool, all right? Friendly caveat. Come on. Give me a chance here. So what's next? Let's see. Working out. Okay, people joke about this COVID-19 pounds thing, not the virus, the pounds, right? But I'm convinced that those pounds are real because I've been seeing some people I haven't had the opportunity to pass by at work or anything in the past like 3 or 4 months, and you can see it. It exists. So me personally, I didn't see 19 pounds, but I didn't gain a little something. Probably, I was still working out, doing workouts at the house, but it definitely wasn't like my workouts when I was going to the gym in January, February, and the beginning of March. But it was funny. So this week I was at kind of a very small, safe, social distancing type event. It was a ceremony, and I was talking to somebody about like working out and whatnot. And I had mentioned that, recently, like probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I'd noticed that, maybe you had like more obvious love handles here above like the waist straps and some lower back fat. And this other guy starts laughing hysterical, wasn't even in a conversation, because he reached over and started to feel if he had some back fat or love handles going on. And then the guy I was talking to checked too. So it's just funny because, you know, like all of a sudden we're trying to relate, multiple people were relating to that, but I may have been over exaggerating with my description to them, but still, like obviously I don't really feel like I have like a muffin top going on or a flat tire or whatever you want to call it when your mid region gets a little bit out of hand. But it was funny, but I know that it's important. I love pizza and beer, and I generally like cut down most of my carbs. During these times because I'm less active than normal because I do stay home a lot when I'm not at work, but I had to do something, so I do the intermittent fasting. But also I wanted something on top of that to not lose strength because I think it's important to be fit and healthy. That's why you have a gym membership, to kind of be like, hey, I'm paying for something, I need to put time in. But I canceled my gym membership mainly because not that I don't have faith in the gym to do the right things to like take care of us. It's a very nice gym, but the risk factor starts to fall in other people's hands at times like this. Like, am I going to expect everybody to wipe down their bench afterwards? No. Am I going to expect to like wipe down? Like, I always wipe down the benches, but the chemicals and whatever, antibacterial stuff that you're using, I think it still has to take time to like kill the germs. Like, you can't just immediately wipe and sit down. I don't think that's how it works. There are places, policies, procedures in place to where at like medical facilities and stuff, like they wipe down a table or chair, but then you have to wait like 5-10 minutes or whatever the waiting period is before somebody new can go sit in there or what have you. So something to consider. And I've thought about it, and so I canceled my gym membership. But what I did do was I got this dope band set. And it was pricey at like $500, but the reviews were great. And they also have this phenomenal Facebook users group. So after doing much research, looking at YouTube videos and whatnot, and checking out the Facebook group, I decided to get this band set. And it was really dope because it has a high quality, kind of shortened Olympic bar to it, and some really good bands and a standing plate. And I did it. Like, and they must run I can only imagine how much money they are spending on their marketing campaign, because I think anybody who is interested in fitness or gyms is probably seeing this on their Facebook feed, because I saw it consistently, and I saw it the first time, the second time, and I was definitely a victim to the funnel of getting somebody to buy a product. I saw it once, twice, did more research, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time I was buying it. But I definitely did my research. So, and I brought it up to someone at work. I was like, yeah, I got this awesome band set. And they were like, oh, is it blah, blah, blah? And I was like, yep, that's it. And they're like, man, I keep seeing ads on Facebook. So it works. But what's cool with this system is you get this home workout stuff. It's a short workout, about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast you do it. Probably like four. Right now, it's like here, they give you a 12-week workout program that you follow. And initially, it's just 4 days a week. But for those workouts, like 1 and 2 days, like, whooped, I'm now going into week 3 next week. Man, the first few weeks, like, I was looking forward to break days. Like, you do 4 workouts, and the intent isn't, the reason it's only 10 minutes, 15 minutes is because the strategy is that you do 1 set for an exercise to failure, and then you move on. And so it's really only about 4 exercises per push or pull day. I'm not a fitness guru, right? I've bought in some like muscular anatomy books or what have you. And I've, been working out. It's probably since I was like 18, 19 consistently. And I got a career that requires me to be fit, but I'm not a guru. I've never taken ACE exams or anything like that. So I just like looked into it, and this Facebook group has tons of like, you know, comparison. What is it? What are they called, man? Total brain fart right now. Before and after photos, progress photos. That's it. Progress photos. Tons of it. And so anyway, I invested in this thing, $500. They had emergency and military personnel discount. But I was like, you know what, $500, like in 5 months, that's what it would cost me for my gym membership. So I was like, I don't see myself going back to the gym in the next 5 months. So this in itself, I'll pay for it. Not a big deal, but really cool. And it's been Yeah, it's been good so far the past few weeks. But like I said, the fact that you get that, you get a workout program. They also had nutritional videos, and you have a community where you can ask questions and be like, "Hey, I'm struggling with this," or you can post critique videos. Be like, "Hey, how's my form?" Because it's pretty interesting doing a chest press, a standing chest press with a band and a bar in front of you. And so if you're out watching this on YouTube, it's like you strap the band behind you and you push out. So it's different than laying down and pushing something away from you. Here, you having a controlled movement, but resistance on that muscle group. It was definitely different for me. Some of the workouts really kicked my butt. I'm not gonna lie, and so we. I'm gonna keep it up. Like, see, I took photos in the beginning and then at the end, so I'm really like being smarter about my diet. Now, I did kill some pizza and garlic knots yesterday, or would it, so pizza Fridays are a thing for me. And hey, I waited a couple weeks, took a few weeks off of pizza Fridays, but I went hard yesterday and with the garlic knots and everything like that. So it is what it is, but I got the band set and looking forward to it. So why am I bringing this up to you? Don't be lazy. Like, if you've got if you're not going to the gym, don't get homebound. Don't start to feel bad about yourself gaining weight. Like, take the necessary steps to make yourself be healthy and feel better. Here's my outlook on all this stuff going on right now is that it's better to be prepared in case you get sick than get sick and try to get your body to prepare to fight it. you know, there are studies that show like if your body is, your immune system's already kind of strong, you're hydrating on a basis, you're giving your body the nutrients it needs, then I think that you give yourself a better fighting chance to do well against viruses and illnesses. Now, disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I don't really study the science of this stuff, but I'm just saying, like, if you think about the human body and it wants to survive, like the body is meant to survive. We have things every day that will try to kill you, whether it be bacteria, viruses, animals, depending on where you're at. But the body is meant to survive, like life is meant to happen. And so I think that if you just take care of yourself consistently, consecutively, that it gives you a better fighting chance if your body ends up being taken, all of a sudden a virus comes into your system and your system's like, oh crap. Would it be easier for a body that's maybe well nourished and hydrated to fight something? I'd like to think that it would be. But that's me. I think it's better to be prepared, be proactive than reactive in those type of health situations. So look, do some research. There's some home workouts you could do. I like the fact that in 10, 15 minutes, I kicked my ass and that's all I needed to do. It's not an hour long, workout on a YouTube video. If I want to get a longer type of workout in, I'll go for a run in the evening. So that's where I'm at with it. If you need a support system, I'm here to support you and tell you right now, if you want to kill those COVID-19 pounds, the 19 pounds, do it. Start today. Today's Saturday. That's right. I did not record this prior to Thursday. My bad. Busy week. But today is the day that you have right now to make the change that you want to see. And so if you are feeling down about yourself, write down on paper what you want and start making that happen. And if having a better body, feeling better, being stronger is it, start today. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till Tuesday. Don't say next week. Start today. Look online and make those steps. Even if you purchase something now and it doesn't come until later that week, you made that change today. So if you need a motivator, someone behind your court, I'm here to support you and tell you, go for it. All right. You can do this. You can feel better. You can look better. Whatever you want to achieve, I'm here. And if you look great now and you want to continue it, more power to you. I'm with you. Let's all do this together. Let's stay safe. All right. Make good decisions about what we're doing with our friends, family members, coworkers, and our dreams and ambitions. Life is beautiful, but it's not perfect. And I think that we need to remember how much like other things are valuable to us, like health and spiritually, being, feeling good. So take the time to take care of yourself. Fitness is one of those. Mental breaks. I mean, anything you can do to find those interpersonal escapes. All right. So do it within yourself, but I'm here to support you and tell you right now, if you're waiting for that final push, go for it. Okay. I believe in you. You can do this. Be your own hero right now. Shed those pounds, shed that negative attitude. Let's all be positive and, and get through this. I know we can. And so maybe next episode we'll talk about, why I'm bringing that up, because I think that life can hit us all in different ways, and it's good to focus on positive things when you can and hear positive people. All right, so that's it. This has been episode 8. This is The Output with me, DJ Unprotected, a podcast presented by Aztec Nation. Be sure to check us out on YouTube by looking for The Output with DJ Unprotected to see all the episodes that we've posted. And I also like to mention and recommend that you check out another awesome Aztec Nation podcast called Unrestricted with Ryan Johnson. It's a very motivating and empowering series where Ryan Johnson interviews some successful entrepreneurs, coaches, people who are pursuing their dreams in life to do the things that they love. So like I said, it's very inspiring and empowering. So check it out. The new season starts next week. I'm looking forward to it. Again, that's the Unrestricted with Ryan Johnson. You can catch it everywhere. All right, so that's it, guys. I hope you're picking up what we're putting out. We got a lot to say. Tune in next week. I promise we have a guest lined up. He's a very cool DJ from Chicago. I follow him on Instagram and stuff, so looking forward to that episode. All right, be safe, guys. We out.